Okay, folks, let's get started here. I have chosen this view looking up this little path by this pine tree with the cabin. There's a group of cabins back there, so I'll be working on that. Let's see here. Not the greatest lighting conditions today. Overcast, flat light, no shadows. So, and it's I'm working small today. A little 6x8 panel. So I'm just want to quickly establish my composition here. Just using burnt sienna to sketch in with. This may be a total disaster. Not exactly inspired with what I got to work with here, but we'll see. And I didn't clean my brushes from last night's painting. I hope that doesn't become a recurring theme. Having full intention to. I left my studio, took my brushes home where I've got my little bar of that block of soap I brought home from France that does an amazing job. So let's see. Where do I want to start? Because it's really, I mean, when I'm squinting and looking out there, everything's just kind of merged together. I mean, obviously, the ground plane out here is the lightest value next to the sky, which there's probably not going to be any sky here. I put a high horizon in it. So let's just mix up a gray. Kind of a cool gray for that background line of trees. Also, once again, I'm using my limited palette of titanium white, alkyd titanium white, fast drying, cadmium lemon, or no, see I keep saying it's cadmium lemon because I always used cadmium lemon, but I've switched off to cadmium yellow light. And pardon me while I blank out, because trying to talk and paint is way more difficult than one may surmise. May even need to be lighter still. And cooler. I don't have to like nail the color and value right now. Just want to start getting it blocked in. Oh yeah, forgot to continue on with my palette. In case you are just joining me and haven't seen some of my previous videos, use a limited palette, titanium white, cadmium yellow light, permanent alizarin crimson, burnt sienna, alkyd, which I basically just use for sketching. May, for my darker values, use a little bit to really darken it up, and then ultramarine blue. And my medium up here in my cup is pure turpentine. All right, let's go for this foreground pine tree. And what I like, you know, with this limited palette, I can just mix right into the piles of paint that I've already started. I got hair or something in there. So that's too dark and too cool. I always got to remember too that alizarin is very strong. Just dip it in the corner of my brush just to loosen this up. It's a cold day. Not terribly cold, but cold enough that paint's a little stiff. Kind of just getting the dark of the tree. It's always easier to come over and add thicker, lighter value paint than it is to come over lighter paint with a darker value. I mean, you can do it, but you end up kind of muddying up the color. I'm just kind of scrubbing this on. Now we're just going to get the grass area, which is kind of this broom grass, which is very lovely. Now in this instance, this flat path would normally be a lighter value than the grass, but the way the light is today, the path is darker than the grass. Now granted, this is just a base layer for the grass. It'll have lighter value put into it here as I build it up, but let's go for that. Let's get the hair out of there finally, once and for all. Okay, walk in that cabin. It is a touch lighter, the roof is, than the background. And then the side is darker. I'm just using the same brush, just wiping it out occasionally. I don't like, you gotta think, when this is framed, there's gonna be about a 1/4 inch off the edge of the panel there. You know, I kind of ran this off to the side, so I may just go ahead and do that. Don't need it any kind of detail or anything right there next to the edge. Crows are busy today. Hear them off in the distance probably. Okay. Now I'm going to soften a lot of these edges and knock some stuff back because I'm not going for detail back here. I mean, it's just going to be back there. So the interest I'm going to focus on is under this tree, the trunk of the tree and the limbs, and just this path kind of bending around it. Okay, that trunk is kind of a warm, well, it's in the middle, it got warm, warmth to it. Trying to not block the camera with just want to start suggesting the structure. Those lines are way too thick, and I know that, but I'll cut over into that as I build up the tree here. Okay, back to a little bit bigger brush. I think it was number 2 is my small brush, and number 4 I'm using filberts. These are Isabey brushes, natural bristle. I just got these. I tried them out. I've been using synthetic brushes for a while and not quite happy anymore with them. So we're gonna start working on the lighter values in this tree. A little too orange. To start with. Trying to keep myself from just dabbing. I'll make brush strokes. Some darker notes in here that I need to pop back in. Darker and cooler. You see, I'm just mixing in this same pile right here in the middle. everything that's going on in this tree right now is all very subtle shifts based on today's lighting conditions. There is like a nice little bit of rim light. I mean, it's ridiculous kind of to say rim light on a day like today. But those pine needles kind of pick that up. Which almost has a violety, I just made up a word, huh? Hue to it. It kind of it repeats over here. Some darker scrubby grasses. I want to try to let some of that, even though it's not there that I'm seeing, that kind of that orange undertone peeking through is a kind of cool. Not cool like temperature, but cool like Fonzie. And of course, you're allowed to disagree with that assessment. And of course, as things come towards you in the foreground, the contrasts are stronger. And I need to widen that path out a little bit. Just look, eh. Here's some frogs, tree frogs. I mean, it's today the first, yeah, today's the first day of February. You're scooting along. So like that is way too yellow, and way to neutralize it is violet. So a little red, a little blue in it, and way too much blue. So a little more red. What I'm doing is trying to come up with a color for back here behind the tree where it's light peeking, lighter. I don't really have light today. But this will help create some dimension around this tree. Okay. Let's see, I've been gone 29 minutes. Kind of gauging my time. Okay. I'm just, skipping the brush. I'm holding it almost parallel to the surface of the canvas there. Just kind of making little cross-hatching kind of movements. Using horizontal brush strokes on this flat surface. You use your brush, the stroke direction to help establish the form. I could actually, I know this is like kind of late in the ball game, but darken that background. A little bit will help. Pop that cabin out a little bit, and would help the tree highlights. I don't have to do the whole thing. I'm out here at a state park, not too far away from my home. And for some reason, on a kind of dreary old day today, there's a lot of people out here. So good on them. Okay, that roof is a little dark, I mean, a little light. And of course, that's too dark. I just said darken that background up to lighten the roof, or to create, that edge of the roof, a little more contrast, but don't want too much. Didn't want that jumping out. Because this foreground, I want to stand out. Okay. And break up some of this. Gets to be a little too uniform, making a line. So let's see, this area right here is kind of bothering me. So what do we got here? To make a lighter spot right there. Okay. Okay. Well, do a little bit on the tree just to pop it out a little bit. That's going to be too much. I just put a dab up there. And like, how much does that jump compared to what I have going on? And that's too much. So just knock it down. I got some violet over here. Yeah, there we go. This may be just, a practice painting. May not be worth doing anything, but we don't know till we get out here and try. Okay. Do I want to do anything else? It likes to. A bunch of Harleys going by now. Behind me is the kind of the main drag, if you couldn't tell. So you will have some background noise. All right. Just try to make the tree a little more interesting, maybe. Okay, I don't know. Could sit and fuss with it for more time, but that's 46 minutes. And I think that's enough. Maybe put a little dark kind of direction marks right there. Kind of lead in. I mean, obviously the path is a lead in. But, okay, that's it. Maybe I'll do another one. I've got another 6x8 panel. So that's it for this one. And this will go into my wet panel carrier. Got one other panel, and this one holds 2 panels face to face. So it's great solution for carrying wet panels in the field. Now this one happens to be from Prolific Painter. I've got all different sizes. This is a 6x8. I've got 8x10, 9x12, 11x14, 12x16. You can get any size. They'll custom make them too, I believe. And I've had these for years. Multiple trips in the field, and they've rain, snow. They're made out of wood, but they're durable, held up great. So I do recommend them.